The International Day of Families, observed annually on May the 15th, is celebrating its 30th year today. It aims to promote awareness of issues affecting families and to recognize their significance in the fabric of society. It serves as a platform to advocate policies that support families and also to celebrate the diversity, resilience, and the contributions to social and economic development that families make. I'm Sinta Ebersohn, the founder of the online Get Up and Grow community, where we consciously cultivate resilient families. If you like what you hear in this video, please sign up and join us. Here is the link, and you'll also get it at the end. My work involves a combination of mentoring, strategic life coaching, complementary therapies, trauma debriefing, holistic counseling, parenting coaching, and all kinds of training to achieve post-traumatic growth. You see, when we develop all aspects of ourselves in our daily lives, we thrive, and so does everyone around us. But in order to be able to do that, there are so many fascinating aspects of human nature and human behavior that we can learn to understand and integrate into our adult selves, that I dedicate a considerable portion of my time to creating content like this. I answer questions often raised by my clients, and I talk about issues that present every day in their relationships with lovers, friends, family, colleagues, and even their children. And that is why I'm talking about family today. So if you are a parent or planning to be a parent, you have to stay tuned. I want to mention some of the social, economic, and demographic processes or aspects that affect families positively and negatively, and what we can do about those things. So let me start by looking at positive social aspects that affect families. Social support networks, communities and extended families that come together to provide emotional, practical, and financial support during challenging times is what I'm talking about. And families can strengthen their bonds through regular communication and quality time together by giving each other support. If you encourage open dialogue about challenges and seek help from support groups or professionals in these networks, it can be a positive aspect of family life. Paying it forward by offering assistance to other families that are in need is also a positive aspect of playing an important part or a role in social support networks. Another social aspect of family life is gender equality. It's important to empower all family members, regardless of whether they are male or female, but empower them with equal opportunities and rights and foster healthier relationships and stronger family bonds by doing that. So when we foster open communication and mutual respect among family members, we manage to do that. When we share household responsibilities and we share decision-making, it promotes fairness and cooperation in a family. And also when we challenge traditional gender roles and stereotypes within the family and within our community and our society, we manage to achieve that. Another social aspect is cultural integration. I'm talking about embracing diverse cultural backgrounds within our families and enriching our experiences and promoting an understanding and an acceptance of each other. So when we embrace cultural diversity through shared celebrations, traditions, and experiences, we do that. When we educate our children about different cultures and we encourage empathy and acceptance of other cultures, we achieve cultural integration in our family. When we engage in community activities that promote cultural exchange and understanding, we achieve cultural integration in our families. Let me look at some negative social aspects that affect families negatively. Social isolation. Our increasingly busy lifestyles and technological distractions that lead to disconnection in family relationships and feelings of loneliness is what I'm talking about. But if we promote quality time, in other words, we set aside dedicated time each day or each week for family bonding activities, such as having meals together, such as outdoor adventures or game nights, for example. In other words, prioritize face-to-face interactions over screen time. It counteracts social isolation. When we foster open and honest communication within our family, encourage each other to share our feelings, our experiences, and our concerns without judgment, we create a safe space where everyone feels heard and valued. And when we get involved in community events, clubs, or volunteer organizations, we build connections outside the family that can help combat feelings of isolation and also provide additional support networks when we need it. I have to also talk about domestic violence. Pervasive abuse within households causes physical and psychological harm, and it disrupts family harmony and stability. What can we do to counteract that? Seek help. Encourage victims of domestic violence to reach out to trusted friends or family members or support organizations for assistance. And also, if somebody does reach out to you, offer unconditional support and validation without blame or judgment. Another option is to develop a safety plan in case of such emergencies. And that includes identifying a safe place to go to and establishing a code word to signal danger to someone close to you. Practice these strategies for de-escalating volatile situations and for seeking help. And then also I want to encourage both victims and perpetrators to seek professional help from counselors or therapists, such as myself, or a support group that specializes in domestic violence. Healing and rehabilitation is possible with the right support and the right kind of interventions. The other thing I want to talk about that is a very negative social aspect of family life is substance abuse. Addiction tears apart family units. It erodes trust and it strains our resources. But with education and awareness about the risks and the consequences of substance abuse, we can go a long way. So discuss the impact it has on individuals and families openly, including your physical health, the mental well-being, and the impact it has on our relationships. Be vigilant for signs of substance abuse and intervene early. Early intervention offers support and guidance to individuals that are struggling with addiction. And seeking professional help if it's needed will really help. It's so, so important because underlying issues have to be addressed, such as trauma or mental health disorders that often accompany substance abuse. And then lastly, family therapy is also very helpful to address the impact of substance abuse on family dynamics and relationships. It helps you to learn healthy coping mechanisms, communication skills, and boundaries to support recovery and to also prevent relapse. And at this point, it's just very important for me to mention that not only the people who are abusing substances need help. Everybody around them needs support and guidance in terms of how to deal with it. Very, very important. So let's look at economic aspects that affect family life. Some of the positive aspects of financial literacy. If a family is equipped with knowledge and skills to manage their finances effectively, it leads to greater stability and security. And you can do that by creating a budget and savings plan to manage your expenses and build emergency funds. Seek out financial educational resources, workshops to improve your money management skills if you need it, and encourage your children to develop responsible spending habits and financial independence. And we do that by talking and teaching, but also by modeling the right kind of behavior. Entrepreneurship is also a very positive and healthy economic factor of family life. If you have opportunities for families to generate income and to build wealth, it fosters economic independence and resilience. And you can do that by identifying and pursuing entrepreneurial opportunities that align with the family interests and the family skills and the family values. And also investing in ongoing education and training to enhance entrepreneurial success. You can also foster a culture of innovation and risk-taking within your family, but celebrate both the failures and the successes. These are all things you can do to foster a healthy culture of entrepreneurship, which would be a positive economic factor in your family's life. Then there are social welfare programs that are available, such as government initiatives that provide financial assistance and resources to support vulnerable families. And it helps to reduce poverty and inequality. These are positive aspects. And it's important to stay informed and know what is available out there in terms of social welfare programs and resources in your community in the event that you might need it. It's also important that we all advocate for policies that support vulnerable families and expand access to essential services for those who need them. It's also very helpful to volunteer or to get involved in your community organizations that provide support to those who are in need. Negative aspects of family life that is affected on an economic level is economic instability. Things like unemployment, inflation, and economic downturns that cause financial stress and uncertainty within our family. So what can we do about that? Firstly, financial planning. Develop a comprehensive financial plan that includes budgeting, saving, and emergency funds, as I've mentioned before. Prioritize essential expenses and explore opportunities for additional income streams or ways to save on expenses. Then you can also develop your skills. So invest in skill development to increase your employability and your adaptability in a changing job market. Explore opportunities for vocational training, online courses, career counseling, anything that can enhance your skills and add to your qualifications will give you more economic stability. And then, of course, community support again. If you build a support network within your community by connecting with local organizations, charities, or government programs that provide assistance during times of economic hardship, you will be grateful for doing that. But seek out resources for job training, unemployment benefits, and financial aid if you need anything of the sort. Another very important factor is inequality. Disparities in income and access to resources perpetuates cycles of poverty, and it limits opportunities for certain families more than for others. But advocacy and activism helps to promote equality and social justice within our community and our society at large. And we all need to participate and advocate in campaigns, protests, community organizing efforts to raise awareness and to demand change, because it's for all our benefit. Then education and empowerment of family members with knowledge and skills to navigate these systemic barriers and advocate for their rights is very, very important. So educate your children about social issues such as inequality, discrimination, and even privilege, and instill values of empathy, inclusivity, and justice. And then foster solidarity and mutual support within your community by organizing collective actions, resource sharing networks, or support groups for marginalized families. Get involved. Strengthen the bonds of solidarity across different social groups. And that way we can challenge inequality and we can build a more equitable society. And the other thing that's a huge economic factor is the debt burden. Accumulating debt leads to financial strain, anxiety, and strained family relationships. And the way to combat that is with financial literacy In other words, prioritize financial education and literacy within your family by teaching budgeting skills, debt management strategies, and responsible borrowing practices. Equip your family members with the knowledge and the tools to make informed financial decisions and to avoid unnecessary debt. And then there are debt reduction strategies. You can develop a plan to reduce your debt gradually by maybe prioritizing high interest loans, negotiating with your creditors for lower interest rates, or a payment plan, and exploring debt consolidation options. There are such things available that help you set achievable goals and, again, celebrate your progress along the way. And lastly, something you hear me talk about a lot is open communication. It's so important to foster open and honest communication about financial matters within the family. And that includes discussing your concerns, setting realistic expectations, and establishing boundaries around spending and borrowing. And obviously, this has to be age appropriate for your children. We don't want to overburden our children with our financial worries and concerns, but we want to make them aware of the reality of the situation. So create a supportive environment where your family members feel comfortable to come to and seek help and comfortable to work together to overcome financial challenges. So let's look at some demographic aspects that affect families. And I'll start with the positive demographic aspects, like family planning. If we have access to reproductive health services and education, empowering families to make informed decisions about the family size and the spacing, we are on the right track. So have open and honest discussions about family planning goals and desires. Educate your children about reproductive health and responsible decision-making, and seek professional guidance and support when you are facing fertility challenges or an unplanned pregnancy or need help in any other aspect. I want to talk about our aging population and the positive impact that actually has on families. The longer life expectancy and the improved health care that we have leads to multi-generational households and opportunities for intergenerational bonding and support. And in having all of this, we foster intergenerational connections because we share activities and family rituals over generations. We collaborate on caregiving responsibilities and support services for elderly family members. And we preserve the family history and the traditions through storytelling and cultural celebrations. And that's just something that's really beautiful. Unfortunately, in our modern day societies, or most of them, we have something like adoption and foster care that really supports families by providing loving homes to children in need. And that enriches families and it promotes compassion and empathy. And foster care and adoption provides a nurturing and stable environment for children that need it, and that emphasizes love and acceptance, and those are the qualities that we want in our families. But again, seek out support groups and resources for adoptive and foster families if you need it to help you navigate the challenges, and celebrate the milestones, celebrate the achievements. I always say that. And then also advocate for policies that prioritize the well-being and the rights of our children in the adoption and the foster care system. This is how we can be involved and make a positive contribution to family life. Let's look at some negative aspects that affect families. Family breakdown, and I'm talking about divorce and separation and family conflicts that result in emotional distress and instability for all members of the family. It's a huge negative aspect, a negative demographic aspect. But with healthy communication, open and honest communication within the family, We can foster a safe space for expressing feelings and concerns. If we practice active listening and empathy and seeking to understand each other's perspective, we do better at conflict resolution. If we invest in family therapy or counseling to address the underlying issues and we learn from each other, our conflict resolution strategies grow and develop, and we become better at it. And it helps that the families don't break down, that the communication doesn't break down. And then we can cultivate strong family bonds through sharing activities and rituals and quality time together. In other words, we build our relationships. We prioritize nurturing our relationships with each family member. We build trust. We foster mutual respect and support for each other. We create opportunities for family members to connect and to strengthen their emotional ties. And that will counteract and prevent the breakdown of families. And again, something that's very important is prevention and early intervention. So if you sense that there's something wrong or something's amiss, it's important to proactively address those potential sources of conflict and stress within your family. And it might be financial struggles, breakdown in communication, or some unresolved issue. But seek support from trusted professionals or community resources to help you to address them before they escalate into more significant problems. And also, I would encourage you to invest in relationship education and skills building to strengthen marital and parental relationships, and that will help you to prevent family breakdown. Another demographic factor that plays a large role is urbanization. Now, if you think about this, migration to urban areas that leads to social disconnection, loss of community ties, and again, increased stress for families. And with community engagement, such as actively participating in community activities, events, and organizations that build social connections and support networks will help you. If you get involved in neighborhood associations, volunteer groups, or local initiatives that promote community cohesion and solidarity, you will do better. But you can even organize community gatherings or social events yourself to foster a sense of belonging and connection amongst the people around you. Nature and green spaces is another good example. Seek out opportunities for outdoor activities and experiences in natural settings such as parks, trails, or community gardens. It's important to spend time outdoors as a family, explore nature, and enjoy the benefits of fresh air, exercise, and relaxation. If you connect with nature, we counteract the stress and the pressures of urban life, and we promote holistic well-being. And then there's the technology debate that is never ending. It's important to set boundaries around technology. Within your family, it's important to prioritize face-to-face interactions and quality time together. So I would suggest creating tech-free zones in your house or times that are tech-free during the day for family bonding activities and for conversation where we can look each other in the eye and connect with each other. But again, encourage outdoor play, hobbies, and creative pursuits where technology is not needed, because that fosters connection and engagement beyond the screens. And lastly, I want to look at intergenerational conflict. And that results because of differences in values, beliefs, and even communication styles between different generations. It causes tension and strain within families. What's important to remember here is that respect and understanding is the basis of that. If you foster mutual respect and understanding between different generations by acknowledging and valuing each other's perspectives, each other's experiences, and our different contributions, you will create opportunities for intergenerational dialogue and exchange, where family members can share their stories, their wisdom, and their life lessons. Can you see how valuable that would be? And again, conflict resolution skills are very, very important. So as a parent, Teach and model effective conflict resolution skills within your family. Emphasize active listening, empathy, and compromise. Encourage your family members to express their feelings and their concerns openly, but respectfully, because we have to respect other people's boundaries, and the differences between us. So practice patience and understanding when you're navigating disagreements or conflict. And lastly, family traditions and rituals. Establish and maintain those family traditions and rituals that celebrate shared values, beliefs, and experiences across different generations. Create opportunities for family members to connect through meaningful rituals such as holiday celebrations, family meals, special occasions and events. And use traditions as a way to bridge the generational divides and strengthen family bonds. On this International Day of Families, I want to invite you to honor the resilience, the strength, and the love that bind us together as families. Despite the challenges we face, we do have the power to overcome adversity, to foster growth, and to create a brighter future for generations to come. By embracing the diversity and cultivating resilience and supporting one another, we can build stronger, more resilient families and communities. So let's celebrate the beauty and the potential of family life today and every day. I'm Sinta Ebersohn, and I invite you to get up and grow with me.